Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and white-tailed deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today.
Well, today we are talking with a gentleman who started a program in addition to all of the futurities that happen every year. He's pretty excited about it. We were one of the sponsors of the event or of the program.
Let's get to it. Let him take over with his presentation.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today, Barry. You can go ahead and take it from here.
All right, so we kind of did something a little different here. I was talking with Jamie and Molly about, what we could do with the Futurity Money Earners list as far as presenting the awards, right? We had the 2021 buckle chase sponsored by Hired Hand. Actually got these buckles back here. I'll go grab them here in a little bit. But we talked about maybe doing a Facebook Live or something where we could bring people in and really talk to some folks about it because really it's just kind of a for the people type of thing. The Futurity Money Earners list has been talked about in concept for probably a decade and nothing's really made any movement on it. All the futurities we've done here on the East Coast, we've always kept all the information, all the winning information, the scores, everything like that. Just out of OCD-ness, I guess, more than anything. But as we started really talking about the Futurity Money Earners list idea, and we had that data there. The Futurity Money Earners list idea really comes from the reining horse world, where this futurity idea started. Ben Gravitt, my late boss, my father, Bill Davidson, started the Millennium Futurity in 2000, and it really has taken off. Obviously, I mean, a lot of people are super familiar with the futurity concept. But to be able to track the numbers and kind of add marketable value to it was the concept behind it. And talking with some reining horse people, everybody knows Bob Loomis, and I'm sure you might have seen posts about his $12 million stud. I think he was the first $10 million stud, first $11 million stud, first $12 million stud. And that wasn't money the horse won. That was money that his offspring had won, his production. So that's really the foundation of the Futurity Money Earners list. We started reaching out to some other fraternities to see if they kept information. Very few of them really did, but the ones that did were able to give that to us to start. And we decided to kind of make another kind of award to give out about it. I think one of the ideas too, in talking with Hired Hand and with the Futurity Money Earner side of it, was maybe not so much past the cost onto the participants, more so on the fraternities. So I think I can pull it up. I got it right here, but I believe last year, 2021, we had 16 fraternities that had joined the Futurity Money Earners list, 17. And those fraternities paid a small fee to be in it, to promote it, to get their scores counted. It was $100, really just kind of admin type of stuff, help pay for the awards. We got great sponsorship from Hired Hand too. So really just try to get it where it's not something that the participants had to put money out on and pay, and really just kind of give them back as a good job. Thanks for promoting and supporting the industry. The idea of the futurity was based off of promotion of Longhorns, and to be able to add another marketable value to them of, hey, like my cows produced X amount of dollars, goes a long way. Right now there's two ways to really profit on Longhorns, right? And they're both terminal. You either sell your cow or you eat your cow. There's no really way to retain that type of production as far as profit wise. The horse world figured it out, right? I mean, they can sell their horses. They eat their horses sometimes, maybe not so much in this country. But they also have animals that produce X amount of dollars. And the idea is to get these futurity pots up and really make it a profitable avenue in the Longhorn world. The Millennium has the first $100,000 futurity coming up in October, and we talked to Bob Loomis about that. on how that really blew up the horse world with Futurities when that happened. That six-figure guaranteed purse went a long way. And so the Millennium stepped up and is doing that. It's the first guaranteed Futurity to pay out that much money. Last year, let me pull those numbers up because I do have them. Last year, as far as what was paid out for the Futurity Money Earners side of things, was $182,000. So $182,000 was added to the Futurity Money Earners list in 2021. All that went into the buckle side of things. So we had a lot of people who were big supporters of this. Like I said, we had 17 Futurities jump on board last year, and we'll kind of talk about 2022 coming up at the end. But I believe we have Johnny Hicks kind of on standby right now. What we're going to do is we're going to give out these awards. The winners have been contacted. They're here. They're going to be here thanking everybody. And I think Jamie's going to be able to share some of the graphic stuff. But we're going to get Johnny on the line, and Johnny's been a big supporter of it between the Futurity that they had in Michigan and also the Fred Bryant Memorial. Johnny's been a big part of it. So can we get Johnny to join? Before you got on, we kind of made mention about just the Futurity Money Earners and everybody that's kind of supported it and whatnot. And you've always been a big proponent of it. So just kind of want to hear your take on what's going on with it and what we've accomplished. So for those of you who don't know, Johnny's involved. Johnny quit his job. I guess I can say that. Johnny quit his real job, and now he's jacking along with cows all the time. So not only is he working with a bunch of breeders, but between Michigan Futurity, Fred Bryant Memorial Salem Futurity, and now the Southeast Futurity, it's a lot of work. People don't realize how much work goes into that stuff and how it's not just a few week or a month long deal. I mean, it's all year kind of grind.
I'm excited about the Money Earners because it's a great way to promote our breed. We've always had privately run futurities run by private individuals throughout the industry, but this brings them all together in a way to connect them where the results can all be found in one place. I think that's a great promotional tool for the people that are breeders out there to promote their herds. There's nothing else like it that does that for a breeder.
Yeah, and it was slow going in the beginning, and some of it's starting to catch on, and that was Futurities, right? I mean, there's even people today that don't understand quite how the Futurity works, and they've been going on 22 years at this point. But to be able to centrally kind of locate the money aspect and track it to see what cows are doing what bloodlines are doing what, and it's the whole concept behind the Futurity is you don't have to have a million cows to participate. I mean, there's people that win Futurities. You can fit their whole herd on a single trailer. So, and the Money Earners is just gravitates towards anybody that wants to participate. So, trying to centrally locate it's a big thing.
And to what Bear said, when Missy and I got in, we had 8 to 9 calves a year, and the only Futurities that were available at the time, I think, were the Winchester Futurity in Texas and the Millennium Futurity. That was 15 or 16 years ago. Those were the only two we had. And when they started doing the Winchester Futurity of the North, the Southeast, they started scattering them out. We still were only getting 8 to 9 calves a year. And we had a bull named War Bonnet that won 3 Winchester Futurities in a row. And that was encouraging to us as new small breeders that we could compete with the big boys at their level, even though we only had 8 or 9 calves a year. That's what's great about these Futurities. And then this Money Earner just adds to that. That's going to showcase those small breeders that are winning with the animals from their herd, because you can go to one website and see the results right there. So, I mean, it's great no matter what size breeder you are.
Well, one of the things we've been trying to do too is incorporate the Money Earner number within sale catalogs too. I mean, the idea, and this is something that happens in the horse world too, they don't have tip to tip, right? We talk about tip to tip as far as basically a measurable EPD in the Longhorn world. And then how much tip to tip as they produce. They got 8 daughters, 1 daughter, a bull, whatever. So to have this Futurity Money Earners list, what we've kind of incorporated too with some of the sale catalog stuff is, listing out the money that's been earned within their pedigree. And the idea is that, down the road, you're going to ask certain questions. You're going to ask about their production as far as dollar values. Hey, they sold a $10,000 heifer or $5,000 bull or whatever, but then they've also had $30,000 or $40,000 in money earners within their pedigree too, or even more. I mean, ultimately, we love to get to the point within the industry where a single animal can win 40, 50 grand in her career. I mean, could you imagine if you had 3 or 4 of those in a lineup within your own ranch? I mean, that's a huge income that you're able to bring in. That's hadn't been terminal. We talked about terminal incomes earlier in the Longhorn world. We got 2 ways to profitize, as Ben would say, off of Longhorns. You either sell them or you eat them. And so here's a way to kind of keep them without having to get rid of them, and you can still profitize on them. So, well, Johnny, we appreciate you coming on. I know you guys are busy. Tell us about your fraternities that you got coming up this year.
So that's the other cool thing about the Money Earners is our little association up here in Michigan, the GLTLA, is having a fraternity on June 24th, I think it is. That's going to be a part of the Money Earners. We have the Bluegrass fraternity that's running alongside the Bluegrass Hudson Valentine sale in Lexington, Kentucky on April 8th and 9th. And then I will do
the Southeast changed from the Southeast to the Bluegrass. They just changed names.
Yeah, it's the Bluegrass sale and fraternity now. So it's one name for an event. The Fred Bryant will be in Missouri again October 1st, and that'll be a sale and fraternity. And the cool thing about the Money Earners is, especially like the Fred Bryant, which was a first-year event last year, I think that helped me draw more people to participate because it was towards the end of the year and they were looking to get a few more wins in for the Money Earners list. And I think that's kind of, especially for new fraternities or smaller ones, to get participants. If that's one more show as a competitor I can go to a year to increase my standings, I'm probably going to schedule it.
Well, and to go on that too, to get any type of money added to your animal for the fraternity Money Earners list, you don't have to win. You just have to place, right? And there's a bunch of different fraternities across the country that do it different ways, but as long as you're in the money, it counts. And you call it your little fraternity in Michigan. I think you had 109 entries last year. It's not a little fraternity. It gets a ton of participation, but it gave away some of the top amount of money in the country. You guys had some great sponsorships, some really good participation. And I think I can pull it up here. And I know if Josh Shaw was on the call, he'd know it right off the top of his head. Because Josh is a numbers guy, but going back through my deal here. Yeah, you guys gave away right at $12,000 on 39 checks, right? So your average check was $307 a check. And that's pretty darn good. So that's only going to increase too.
Well, I know we added bull classes, but I think we were getting about 60 to 70 head before we did the Money Earners. So we went from 60 to 70 head to 109. Just for numbers, people. I mean, that it showed an increase of people getting involved and wanting to showcase their herds. And I'm hoping Kentucky's the same thing, that, it continues to grow with the Millennium being there and the Bluegrass being there. And I'm excited because the Money Earners has the potential for kind of being the gold standard for the fraternities, where maybe there is a standard that all Money Earner fraternities meet this criteria or something. I mean, the options for this thing are endless to improve the industry.
Yeah. Well, and we've been fortunate too. We talk about the physical list. We have them listed on the Longhorn Legacy Group website with Hired Hand. Hired Hand's done create a really good platform for us to be able to showcase those animals, to list those animals out. And then also has a search option where if you don't know where an animal ranks, obviously it's not in alphabetical order or anything like that, but you can go in a search option and search the animal to see if it pops up on the list too. Even for your own research, like you said, it's kind of endless where this can go. So, well, we certainly appreciate you getting involved in it and you being kind of a big proponent and promoting it. And You know, a lot of times the fraternity stuff is pretty scary to some people, but I got John Randolph calling me right now. So we got John on hold right now too. So maybe that's what I was getting texts on to as well. But all right, Johnny. Well, we certainly appreciate it. We got some of these guys to bring on, and I think John and Christy and Cindy are going to be our next guests. So appreciate it, Johnny. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bear.
Thanks, Johnny.
We want to congratulate the Bolins and the Randolphs for Pearl Snap BCB. He is the 2021 Buckle Chase Champion Bull of the Year.
Yay.
So he's our first official Bull of the Year. As you can see, his winnings, $10,644.98 this year. I think that's only going to increase as these fraternities increase and as his offspring gets out there more. I got a picture here for you. You guys can see that. There's your belt buckle.
Nice.
And then he also won. Jamie, can you bring up the other one? So he's a two-time winner this first year. So he won the Bull of the Year, and he also won the Producer of the Year. As you can see that buckle there too. So his offspring won 34 checks in that in the 17 events. So you know, he was averaging 2 checks an event. Obviously, you didn't take him to every event. There were some events where he was winning 5 or 6. So I want to give you guys the platform to say whatever you want to say, but we just want to say from the Futurity Money Earners list, from Hired Hand to for being sponsors, I just thank you guys for supporting this. I know a lot of you've traveled, both of you have traveled to as many fraternities you could get to, travel cross country for them and such. So we certainly appreciate you guys participating in it and jumping in it head first. Christy, you were the manager of the Millennium at the time, and the Millennium joined it as well. So we'll give you guys the floor real quick, but we just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Brent, you go first.
You know, it was great doing this. I'm glad we get to split that $10,000 that he won. 5,000 each, right? Isn't that how this goes?
Pesos is actually down on the border.
Wait, Brent.
But
That 10,000 that he won, it only cost us 30,000 to get it there. So I'll be sending you a bill for 15 grand. Okay.
no problem. Just send it. I'll go ahead and pay for it. No problem.
Yeah, I know you will.
You know, Cindy and I, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out which bull to put on each cow. And there's some cows out there in the world that you get a cow that will produce a female and a male. And Pearl Snap's mama was that way. She's a great cow. And then when you put her on a bull that will produce a bull or a heifer, it's the same thing. So Pearl Snap clicked. He was just the perfect click. He puts everything in the females and everything in the males. You don't get bulls like that very often. He is one of a kind, and he's also a good-looking bull too. That makes a big difference too when you look at him.
He is, and he does his job.
I just want to tell the Randolphs, you guys are the ones that promoted him, showed him. We just bred him, but you guys really pushed him. You pushed his offspring, and I'm proud of you guys. You did a great, great job.
Thank you, Brent. That means a lot. That means a whole lot. I mean, there's some really terrific bulls out there that he was in competition with, you know, and when we got involved with the Future Money Earners list, you know, we had high hopes. We didn't know, but he has had so many successful heifers that are still out there today. He's got 2 with NASA, the Longhorn Project. They're tough to beat. They're at the top of the class everywhere they go. And they're offspring. So he carries it forward. You know what I mean? It's not just his daughters, but what his daughters are able to produce. So we're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled and very grateful, you know, that you guys agreed to sell half of him to us, because he's done great things for us. I can't deny that at all.
Did you guys ever send me any money for that half?
No.
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 As I recall, I wrote you a check on the spot.
You know,
I have to go back and do some digging.
when we
When we went out and looked at the Boland's Ranch, and saw Pearl Snap. What really sold us was not only his mama, but his sister. It was just very evident, what his progeny should be at that point. And he did not disappoint. He did not disappoint at all. And we get, he's kind of a white-based bull with tons and tons of all colors of the rainbow. But he throws a lot of beautiful colors as well. So we're very excited. I know that we'll be participating again. We don't have as many of his offspring out here now because people come out and they look and realize what he's done show worthy for us, and they want to buy those heifers. So, we've let go of quite a few of them, and you can't keep everything. I know Bear understands that better than anybody.
As long as they keep showing them and promoting them, showing those heifers, he can still keep winning. We're going to get into the cow side of things here in a little bit. And the cow that won, she won Cow of the Year and Producer of the Year. The guy that owned her never showed a daughter of hers. He didn't show in a single futurity. So it's not just about the owners of the bull promoting them, but I mean, if he's doing as good as everybody's, I mean, he's proved it. Other people start showing them too, and that's, you said it costs $30,000 to win 10. Let other people take some of that $30,000 kick.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we're very happy with what he's done, and when people come out to look, we get excited because we've got so much to offer, and we like to see these kids get started on a successful track rather than just saying, oh, that's a pretty heifer, why don't you try her? Knowing full well that she probably doesn't have what it's going to take for that kid to win when she goes in the show ring or he goes in the show ring. So but I got to say, Pearl Snap doesn't throw a dud. They may all have testicles one year, but he doesn't throw a dud. They're well made, they're colorful, they've got great dispositions. He's got a great disposition, which is another selling point for us. And horn growth, yeah. So, but basically we're thrilled. We're so happy to have had him do as well as he did. And I think that kind of puts the Future Money Earners on the right track. Certainly for us it did, but it shows that you don't have to have a bull or a cow out there that's got 100 inches of horn tip to tip to be successful. I fear that a lot of times lately I see folks are looking from the shoulders up and devaluing, the rest of the animal. We've got to get back to that total conformation package that includes horn, but shape and viability, and disposition, all of that I think is critical to the success of any program. And I think that's what futurities do. So I just hope they grow. I hope the futurities just take off like a house on fire.
And we'll be at every
like
single one.
We're getting a new one. So I think these futurities are going to keep moving. I just want to see a whole bunch of young people bringing one or two animals and showing them off. This last year, I noticed a couple youngsters were showing an animal or two animals. I hope we get those young people out there too. It's nice to beat the young people periodically or all the time like we're doing right now. But one of these days, these young people might get lucky enough to win something. But like I always tell them, second place isn't all that bad.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on and talking to us. And we just wanted to say congratulations on your bull. There's only one first time, and he's it. So congratulations. And I'll see you guys here in about a month, and I'll have some buckles for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you all.
Love what you're hearing? Be sure to check out our Pickup Truck Confessions. It's a video series where we hop in the truck or rental car and interview a variety of breeders about what drives their passion for their livestock, how they got started in the breed of their choice, marketing tips, and more. And now, back to the podcast.
Looks like we're good. Can you hear us, Mr. Hudson?
Yeah, I got you.
First of all, we want to thank you for taking the time. I know you got a lot of stuff going on today. We talked previously, and we're running a little bit behind. I know we said 2:30, it's 3 o'clock, but we want to congratulate Hudson Longhorns, yourself, Elizabeth, Mike, on being Breeder of the Year for the 2021 Buckle Chase for the Futurity Money Earners list. And I mean, you guys came in, and you didn't come in at the top at first. You slowly built your way up there by participating in fraternities and bringing good cattle in fraternities. And this year you're a little over 12.5 in money earned on the Futurity Money Earners list. And what we're really pushing for the next years is for the winner to have that increased, with the money coming. So I'll have this buckle for you. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but we got the first buckle for you for the breeder of the year. And we just want to thank you for participating and kind of give you the floor on anything that you'd like to say.
Well, I appreciate that, Bear. It's we're honored to win that prize, that buckle. The futurities are important to us because, I got in this business 19 years ago. There was two camps. There was a show people who had gorgeous animals that didn't have much horn, didn't bring a lot of money. Then there were the horn people. And always what brought the most money in an auction was the most tip to tip. Didn't really matter about conformation or color. It just people were chasing horn. So that's what I did when I first got in the industry. I chased horn for a while. And a few years ago, we had a shift of our understanding of what we were trying to do at Hudson Longhorns. And we decided to try to have the best of both worlds, but try to breed for conformation, color, horn, the whole package. And that's why I love the futurities, because it's the best of both worlds. It rewards a complete animal, not just the longest horn or not just the best conformation like the show world does, but it rewards the animal the best value and the complete package. So we breed to win futurities because we're breeding for that kind of animal. That's what our goals are at Hudson Longhorns. So we love the futurities. It's a lot of fun. Mike Willinger, our ranch manager, is willing to put the time and effort into it and, to get the animals ready and then make the trip. I think we participated in 5 or 6 futurities this past year, and we'd like to do more next year if we can just find the time to do it.
You were coast to coast, right? Because you were at the East Coast, but then you're also in Oregon too. Mike was in Oregon for that event. I don't know. I don't think you guys took animals to Oregon, but if you weren't participating in these fraternities, you were there being well represented in some fashion. So, you guys put in the miles and it showed. It definitely showed.
Yeah, I think Mike may have judged the one in Oregon. I'm not positive, but I think that's what he did. But we like those people out there and want to support their sale. They have a real good event out there.
So from East Coast to West Coast to Canadian border, all the way down to Texas. So you guys covered all 4 corners. And like I said, it definitely showed in your winnings and in your placings. It was a tight match there. The Bolins were doing really well, and then you just slowly started creeping up into them. So we just wanted to say congratulations. There's only one first time, and you guys are the first time winner of it. So we just want to thank you for your participation in all the fraternities, not just the ones that we run personally, but all the ones that were in the part of the Futurity Money Earners list.
Well, thank you, Bear and Molly and Jamie. I appreciate what y'all are doing here. This makes it more fun for us to have a grand prize. Is a lot more fun than just winning a local futurity. And we aim to participate this next year and hope we got a good a set of animals as we did this past year, because we want to participate just as aggressively as we did this past year.
That's definitely a challenge. They talk about I listened to a really well-spoken leader, 2-star general in the Air Force, happens to be my brother, but he talks about the value between your reputation and your future, right? And neither of them work side by side. Your reputation is based off of what you did in the past, and your value is what you bring in the future. And you guys did really great last year. Your heifers did really good, but that doesn't mean anything this year, right? Everything could change. So
right.
It's time to reload and get down to it. And I think that's a great value in the Longhorn world, because if you get shellacked with a group of heifers from years past that didn't do really well, you can work hard and get those cows bred up the way you run them and do really well in the following years to come. So you guys have stayed ahead of the curve. It shows. Hudson Longhorn's been a fantastic name in the Longhorn world for 2 decades, right? 19 years. So congratulations on 19 years, and congratulations on being the first breeder of the year for the Futurity Money Earners list.
Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We know you got stuff going on today. We'll let you get back to your day, but we'll see you down the road here as sales season get ready to kick off.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good to see y'all.
Thanks, Bill. Congrats.
Thank you,
Have a
Bill.
great day.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
You
Yep.
too.
Bye.
All right. So we were waiting on Aaron Atkins. Aaron's hung up at work, so we're going to roll on without him right now. First, it's been great, everybody that's been joining us, and know it takes a lot of time out of their day. So, and unfortunately, Aaron can't be here. So Aaron has a cow, won cow of the year, and she also won producer of the year. So HL Playmate, cow of the year. Her offspring won over $5,200 this year in the Futurity Money Earners list. And we'll also bring up the producer of the year too, to show the amount of checks that she's won. So she had 8 checks. So her daughters won 8 checks. That put her at the top for the producer of the year. She's going to get 2 buckles. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'll get them to Aaron here. That's the cow of the year buckle. And then we also have the producer of the year. But, here's the interesting thing about this cow is Aaron didn't participate in any futurity. We talked about earlier with the Randolphs about Pearl Snap and how much they promoted and how much they pushed them. Aaron didn't show anything. It was just the offspring. So as breeders in the Longhorn world, you don't have to be out there showing that cow's offspring. If you sell that offspring and those people take it and those people start showing it and that cow does well, all that money comes back to show on your cow. So we just want to thank Aaron for being receptive to all this, obviously. And I think it's going to change his view. I wish he was here to talk about it, but I think it's going to change his view on these fraternities a little bit more. He's got a cow that was a heck of a producer this year, and he might start paying a little bit more attention to her offspring, putting them in fraternities. So again, that wraps up the buckle chases. I just want to thank Molly and Jamie for sponsoring the 2021 buckle chase. As we dive into 2022, we're getting ready to kick off the fraternity season, start the fraternity season. And one of the things, we're obviously going to do the buckle chases again. Hired Hands agreed to sponsor that. So we have those buckles. We're also going to be doing a little bit more advertising and start working on some cash prizes too. So right now we have 18 fraternities that have joined. If you aren't one of the fraternities that has joined yet, simple, give me a phone call. I'll talk you through it. It's not expensive. It's $100. One extra entry covers that. As Johnny mentioned, that they went from 60 to 109 because of this. So not to say that there's a ton of promotional power in it, but I think there's a ton of promotional power in it. So here's a chronological order throughout the year. March 4th, we have the Winchester Fraternity down there in Bryan, Texas. That's with the cattle bearing sale, Rick Frederick. March 17th, we have the Legacy Fraternity, the Legacy Sale Heifer Fraternity there in Grapevine, Texas with Chase Fasut. April 8th, the Bluegrass Fraternity. Johnny Hicks had mentioned that it changed from Southeast to Bluegrass. They are Lexington, Kentucky. April 15th, the following week, we have the Cherry Blossom Fraternity in Culpeper, Virginia. April 29th, the STLA Fraternity in Llano, Texas. This is the first time for them. Kathy Bruner, you can reach out to her. May 6th, we have the first Midwest Fraternity. That'll be there in El Dorado, Kansas. The Midwest sales moved from Winfield, Kansas to El Dorado, Kansas with the Joneses facility. Super excited to be doing that and working with them on that. In June, we have the Piney Woods Fraternity. I don't have a date yet for that, but that's with Donnie Taylor. This is the second oldest fraternity. It happened, Donnie and them came to the first millennium. Once that kind of took hold, they asked if they could put a show on like that. So they did. That's been the Piney Woods fraternity, was the original Winchester fraternity. We have Johnny mentioned the end of June. We have the Great Lakes Texas Longhorn fraternity up there. It was in Horton, Michigan last year at Dick Lowe's. I imagine they probably have it at the same place. We also have the Buckeye Classic. That's June 10th, Sullivan, Ohio, with Amber Dunmeyer. June 17th, we have the Winchester Fraternity of the West with Mr. Scott Picker out there in Dundee, Oregon. That exists with their sale out there. Oregon, awesome place to go experience. We also have the Cal Nava Fraternity there in July in Reno with Melissa Boris's sale. The biggest little sale in the West or something like that. There in Reno, super cool town. First week of August, we have the Cheesehead Fraternity, Gresham, Wisconsin, with Dan Huntington. That's in works with their sale too up there. August 13th, the MSTLA, the Mountain States Texas Longhorn Association out there in Colorado Springs, are going to be kind of doing a doublehead fraternity, 2 fraternities at once. Reach out to Linda Metcalf. She'll get you squared away. September 16th, we have the Legends Fraternity there in Duncan, Oklahoma with Justin Rombeck. Justin gives away a trailer, gives away chutes. He's got a lot going on in that fraternity, as long as cash too. September 23rd, the East Coast Longhorn Classic Fraternity, Culpeper, Virginia. October 1st, the Fred Bryant Memorial Fraternity there in Springfield, Missouri with Johnny Hicks. October 6th and 7th, we have the ITLA Championship Fraternity, Duncan, Oklahoma, Mr. Larry Smith. This is their second year doing it as well. And then right now we have the wrap up, October 22nd, Millennium Fraternity there in Lexington, Kentucky. It just moved there. It'll be the first $100,000 fraternity. So we got a lot going on. So there's a fraternity almost every weekend or twice every month from March until October. So I just want to take a minute, thank Hired Hand. Thank you, ladies, for believing in a lot of the crazy ideas I come up with, trying to help me work through the logistics aspect of them, and obviously sponsoring this too, and sponsoring again for the second year. So thank you, Hired Hand, for everything that you do for us, continue to do for the industry. We certainly appreciate it.
Thanks. We're happy to help.
Ditto.